We're back with Illinois State Senator Neil Anderson and his Democratic challenger Greg Johnson in the race to represent Rock Island County and Springfield. They might be political opponents, but they can talk college football pretty friendly, I will tell you that. It's been a heated race on the television airwaves, to be sure. Both of you have shown a willingness to go negative. Here are a couple of clips we're going to share with the viewers.
Greg Johnson says to trust him? Gotta be kidding. When Johnson took over at Hope Creek, a county facility, they sunk further and further into debt. Johnson did nothing.
Senator Anderson vowed to slash Medicaid for seniors, and he backed Trump to destroy the Obamacare markets in Illinois.
South Springfield.
All right, I know you both have positive ads too, and I've had the chance to speak with both of you the last few years on and off camera. You're both very friendly, at least to me. Why the negativity in a race like this, Mr. Johnson?
You know, first of all, it's unfortunate that negativity comes into every high-price campaign. It just does. You know, but I promised my wife early on that we would stay positive until it got negative, and I would never tell a lie. You know, the Hope Creek ad in particular is why people hate politics. You know, I served 32 years in the Department of Corrections, chose to serve my community in an advisory role, and it's been proven even by Rock Island County Chairman Drew Milkey that my opponent lied in that ad. And that's why people don't want to get into politics. It just represents the very worst of humanity when we get into Springfield. To attack volunteerism and to create that sort of lie, it really offends. So it doesn't come down to why. Why would you not respond back to something like that when your character has been attacked so roughly? I think the question should be, why would someone lie that abrasively and that obvious in a campaign commercial,
Senator,
and continues to air it to this time.
Senator, so I had to bring up the fact that you both were very collegial in the break talking about college football. I mean, there is certainly some camaraderie. Obviously, we talked about the union agreement here. I guess why do we have negativity in a campaign race like this?
Well, I think, you know, certain issues of character have to be brought about, and you know, as far as the Hope Creek thing, Mr. Johnson was in a leadership position, and certain things happened, and he didn't say anything about it. So that's an issue for me. But you know, negative politics is unfortunately part of politics today.
You have to have thick skin, obviously. All right, the two of you spent $1.5 million combined during the last quarter on your campaign. This is to get a job that has a base pay of about $68,000 a year. I know it's nothing compared to what we're seeing spending in the governor's race, and this isn't a policy question overall. I guess I found out from one of your campaign aides during the break that this is the second most money spent in the state this year on a state legislative race. I guess, how does spending this much money even make sense? I think people at home can't even comprehend $1.5 million for a seat that pays about $68,000. Senator Anderson?
Yeah,
and you spent half as much as Mr. Johnson, I want to say. But.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's ridiculous how much money is in politics today, and I think campaign finance reform needs to be something that needs to be talked about not only on a state level but a federal level for sure.
We've seen that before, and there was some campaign finance reform, and that.
Yeah, the problem is you know, people will always find loopholes, and it's frustrating.
Is that something can even be attacked on a state level? First of all, spending it. Your opinion on spending in a race like this?
It is ridiculous. When I look at some of the checks that go into media buys and stuff, I think about all the good we can do with that money. You know, Citizens United. Several years ago, decision really opened up a Pandora's box. There's so much dark money and so much money that comes in by lobbyists that it's really dirty the system. It's sad.
Can it even be addressed at a state level? Can the state legislature even do something about it? I know you talk about federal level, and that's certainly a lot of campaigns there. But
yeah, no, I think it can on a state level, and that's something we've had a couple bills over the last few years to do. But getting into the nitty gritty,
when you get into the weeds, it
loses
momentum.
Yeah.
Well, Senator Neil Anderson, Greg Johnson, thanks so much for the conversation. We will certainly be watching what happens on Tuesday. That brings us to our question of the week. What do you think about the negative campaigning you've seen in all of the races for the midterm election? Send your answer by email to fortherecord@whbf.com, or respond to this post on Facebook at the Local 4 News WHBF TV page or on my page.